a friend, she has every brand's app. Anyone you could think of, she could be like, download the McDonald's app because you get a free ice cream. Like that is that is her jam. People love that. Like I don't care how much money you make, like what your household income is or whatever. Like everybody is looking for perks, and though even the smallest things make a huge difference.
Today, we're diving into the power of loyalty programs and how they're transforming customer relationships. So, according to Merkle, a data driven customer experience company, discounts are really the primary reason 48% of US adults are participating in loyalty and rewards programs. And that seems kind of obvious, right? But there's a lot of nuance to that. And I'd love to unpack it with Roxy today. And I know she talks about this topic a lot. She's very well versed in this. So, I wanted to chat with her about the trends that we're seeing and even break down some of the loyalty programs that we're a part of and hear about what we think about them. So let's get into it. Roxy, I'm really glad to have you back on the show today, even though we're virtual this time. It's still good to have you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to discuss this topic today.
So, I wanted to start this episode with a loyalty program example that's top of mind, just to kick it off in a fun fashion. Sephora. Now, we're the girls. We love makeup. We love Sephora, and they do a great job with this, especially around your birthday. That's something that always stands out to me. And if you know, you know. But it seems like nowadays, if you don't have a loyalty program, you're missing out on the opportunity to connect with your customers in a real way. And they seem to get that. And with rising prices, it's kind of led to maybe an increased reliance on these programs for discounts, but it really goes beyond that. I'm curious to hear what you think about Sephora specifically, and really if you think they're doing a good job with that.
First of all, I liked my birthday gift from Sephora this year. I got the youth to the people. There was a cleanser, there was a moisturizer, and this dream mask, which was so good. Have you ever tried that brand?
No, I need to.
It's literally amazing. But when I think about the Sephora rewards program and how they do birthdays, there's this element of product discovery because these are products that I would have never tried. But to me, a really good loyalty program is about the experience for a customer. First of all, with Sephora, and we've talked about this, Sephora does not gatekeep their birthday their birthday gift to you. You get this
Yep.
email. You get an email letting you know that, hey, your birthday's coming up. Come in the store and get your gift. You get to the store and the associate is reminding you, hey, pick out your gift. It's your birthday month. I'll be honest, the older I get, the more I forget when my birthday is or my birthday month. It's just not top of mind for me. So I think that's really cool how they're always reminding you, and it's kind of like this little delight. And it really doesn't stop there. So days later, after you have gotten your birthday gift in store at Sephora, you get an email. I don't know if you've ever gotten the email or noticed the email before, but it's like in the email they ask you, hey, did you enjoy your birthday gift? And if so, do you want to buy the full size items? That's awesome.
Smart.
'Cause, yes, they're really thinking about that customer journey from start to finish. And you think about like that's a true omni-channel approach because they're getting you to come in the store. I know when you go in store to buy your birthday or to redeem your birthday gift, you're not just leaving with the birthday gift. You're probably
Impossible.
buying other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I think about their program and it's in line with how all retailers should be thinking about their program is really to increase average spend. It's to increase customer lifetime value and really create a customer for life. And that's what a loyalty program should be doing for your business.
Well, and it just generates that loyalty. I mean, I think about the things that I could potentially get at Sephora, and would I pick Sephora over Ulta if I knew I was getting points that were going towards this larger discount amount, to where if you get a certain amount of points, it comes back in dollars, in your pocket. And if I know I'm going to buy
Yeah,
the item, like it's that gamification almost that feels really
yeah.
exciting and causes people to choose your brand over the next brand. So I really do like that piece about Sephora, and my birthday's coming up, so I'm excited to see what I get in terms of, fresh products and something new I can try. But I love that what you said about the follow-up email, because I think it does go beyond just shop here, earn some points and get a discount, it's like,
Yeah.
what are you going to do about it next? How are we going
Yeah.
to get you to try new products? And how are we going to get you to buy full size products? So
Right.
I love that you brought up that point because that's actually something brands should be thinking about on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
I wonder if preferences for consumers, obviously we love freebies, but is it all about the free products? Are people thinking about the exclusive rewards that you get overarchingly by buying at a brand store? I think the challenge might be that rewards might take too long to redeem or maybe need to be easier to earn. Are you seeing that on the other side, or do you feel like brands are trying to make it as easy as possible for people to get rewarded?
I think there's a need for brands to obsess over the customer journey. So you can't make it so complex that people don't know what the offers are or choose your own adventures. Those sound really cool in theory, but I my background is in UX, and one of the my favorite UX books is like "Don't Make Me Think." It doesn't. That's just not about like designing web experiences. That's about any type of product or feature that you're trying to release to people. You need to make it easy. You need to remove the friction. And I think we as retailers and as merchants, we have to continue to obsess over the customer experience. And there's so many aspects of that. You know, you release a loyalty program. Cool, this is great. You're doing what's best for your customer experience, but it can't just be release and done. Like there's this testing approach, there's a learning, there's a optimizing. A lot of our retailers that where we powered their marketing automation do test their loyalty programs. So their customers are grouped into different segments. They're testing how those different segments are performing. And I think that's critical because who's to say that, you know, just because if you were to give customers like cash back $20, do you know if you gave them $15, would that still have the same impact? You have to test and learn. You could be giving away more money than you need to, but it's about um, creating the best experience possible for the customer and not just throwing something out there and being done. Continuing to optimize and test. I think that's important. And thinking about the customer journey, like reducing that friction in the experience and making it easy for them to redeem their rewards it's critical.
I wonder if enough brands are doing that. When you said cash back, it's so funny. The first brand that came to my mind was Kohl's. And I haven't shopped there in a while, but I always remember like you got the Kohl's cash. And I
Mhm.
don't know if that's genius or if that's something that like they're constantly testing and
Yeah. And I think that's also I think there's some customer database things that, you know, happen to be able to like track like who got the Kohl's cash and who redeemed the Kohl's cash because I'm just thinking of some examples of like, you know, I've seen like Facebook messages of people like anyone have Kohl's cash that they're not using. That's bad because it should be a one-to-one relationship. And
yeah.
I think as a retailer, you're probably thinking like, you know, as long as somebody's spending it, but that also remove like you're incentivizing someone who's spending more, and you should make sure that like, you know, you're tracking that accordingly. Like this is a loyal customer, they're getting this cold cash. Are they redeeming it? I think those are data points that should definitely be tracked.
Yeah, Roxy is a data girly, and I'm glad because as a marketer, we always say test and track, but from a loyalty program and merchandising standpoint, like that's so imperative as well.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that up. What do we think should be different with loyalty programs today? Or I guess like what makes up a good loyalty program? You've said multiple times like customer obsessed and thinking about it from a consumer forward mindset. Do you feel like enough brands are doing that, or do you feel like it needs to shift a little bit?
I'm seeing more loyalty programs and perk programs than I ever have before. And I just think that is, we're definitely trying to retain the customers that we have. We want to increase, you know, customer lifetime value. Like when you're ready to go to a store to buy anything, let's like just think about like makeup, where maybe you're accustomed to buying like drugstore brands, but you could go to any store around you. Why would you go to Meyer over CVS, for example? Just like those are really close to me. So just thinking about it's like you want your brand to be top of mind when customers are ready to go shop. And that is what I think loyalty programs help to do. And I am seeing the emergence of more of those programs. And I love it. I mean, as a consumer, I eat those little perks up for breakfast. Like I I love the perks. And it's so funny. I have a friend who like she has every brand's app. Like anyone you could think of. She could be like, download the McDonald's app because you get a free ice cream. Like that is her jam. People love that. Like I don't care how much money you make, like what your household income is or whatever. Like everybody is looking for perks, and though even the smallest things make a huge difference.
So true. All you have to do is pay $10 extra a month for that iCloud storage, and you can
Yeah,
download every app you've ever
which
wanted.
I do.
Exactly. That's how they get us. That's how they get us.
I'm literally
I
locked
agree.
in. Yeah.
Locked in for whatever perk you want to give me. I am
Yeah.
down. So it's just so funny because as marketers and merchandisers in our professional lives, like we see it on the other side. It's like very hard for us to take off the hat and not think about it from a consumer
Yeah.
because we're consumers first before we're professionals. That's what makes us dynamic, I think. And that's why I love talking to you because we think about it from both sides. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we're consumers first. What do consumers want? And I think that when brands kind of get into the minds a little bit, like it's just magic can happen when you have that dual, approach. Another one that comes to mind in the beauty space is Elf Cosmetics, and I was doing
Mhm.
some research today, but for listeners who are unfamiliar, they're based out of the US. They started about 20 years ago, and they started a loyalty program in 2016, and it's called the Beauty Squad. So you can join the Beauty Squad if you sign up on the website for free, and all you need is some basic info. But the system is point based. So and a lot of brands do point based, but you get points from purchasing and you can get them from engagement or writing reviews or posting it on social media, special occasions, etc. And I think that that's really cool because you give people an opportunity not just to buy but to be an advocate for your brand out in those spaces. Specifically, like I'm a social media manager, so anytime I get someone tagging me in something, I'm like, I get so excited. So I love that they've thought about a tiered system where it's like perks for each and it's a gamification. So it's maybe a scavenger hunt or something you can do that's really small. And that seems to be really working for them. And specifically, I guess, what do you think about that approach?
Elf is a direct to consumer brand, and they're definitely with their loyalty program. I see what they're doing. They're really trying to own the customer experience and really building their customer database by providing that differentiated experience for shoppers who shop directly with them. Because technically, they could go to one of their trade partners, such as like a Walmart or Target,
Hmm.
etc. And I've worked on in-house brands, and I know how important it is to build that relationship with your customer because it helps you or it allows you to really own your brand story, which otherwise gets told by others. And my recommendation for like as I think about like gamification and all of that, I think it's really about creating consistency in the program. So there are some programs where, and actually, I'll just use Starbucks for example. For the longest time, I can't remember how much. I think it was like 150. You get 150 stars, you get a free drink.
Yeah.
Now is 200 stars to get a free drink. How
They
long
up
was
the
it?
ante.
100? Yes, exactly. So like now I have to spend more money if I wanted to get a free drink. Like that is a lack of consistency. It's kind of like if you were always offering $10 off of 50 and then one day you were like, "Oh, we're only going to give $5 off." That turns consumers off. They expect that benefit, and now you've changed it. But if you're building a loyalty program, there has to be some consistency. And if you are changing things, customers need to or shoppers need to be like eased into the change
The
because
change.
what. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So like I talked about, like obsessing over that journey, making sure the marketing program is critical. The email marketing, SMS is critical. If you're gonna do gamification, it needs to be a really good experience. Don't have the customers start on the app and then they need to go out to the web, log in somewhere else. That's a very poor experience. So I think it's really cool what Elf is doing, and that they are trying to own the experience that they have with their customers. I think it's a great approach in direct to consumer brands.
And I was looking at some of the data, and it was saying that the loyalty members generate nearly 80% of sales on their website and
Yeah,
95% of transactions on the brand's app, and 166% higher lifetime value than non-members.
that's cool.
So there's almost a direct correlation with becoming a member and then also getting those direct perks. And if they go through Elf, and if they know they love an Elf product, like why would they not go through Elf versus going through Ulta or Sephora or Walmart or CVS or
Yeah.
whatever the case might be? So that's a great way to own that experience and have them not go to the partners but come directly to you. That's awesome.
A lot of times we think that loyalty programs needs to be about like, you need to give me a discount, you need to give me some dollars off, you need to give me a gift card. But in the example of Elf, where they have created this experience, they have like a huge spend from their loyal customers that allows them to do other stuff. Like they could do releases to on their website to their that customer base first before it gets released to the masses. And that's another way, like it's not a promotion, but this is exclusive. Like you're a loyalty member, so you get these perks that other people get to experience later. And that's really cool about a loyalty program that goes beyond offering a discount code or a promotion or something like that. It's those exclusive benefits that people love.
So I guess I'm curious. We've kind of talked about some of our favorites and programs, but which do you think could be better based on your personal shopping experiences? Anything you want to add?
Experiences that I think could be better. I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity for experiences to be better, like transparency and rewards. Where am I? Like I shop at Meyer often, the grocery store, and I have no idea when I'm going to get a rewards. Now,
Mm.
technically, they're if they I haven't seen that they've encouraged me to like download an app or anything, but if they did, I'd probably be more aware of like where my spend was. But I think transparency and rewards, and maybe that's a sort of gamification. Like it is really nice to be able to log into an app and see like, oh, I am so close to getting to leveling up to getting my next reward. So, and I all of these things, everything that I mentioned, it goes back to obsessing over the customer experience. That's like literally the most critical aspect of it. I some experiences that I really love, and honestly, like as a for me, if I love a brand, I'm going to buy regardless. You give me perks and incentives, I'm going to buy more because I love experiences, is who I am. One example of me is like I purchased a car one time. I was in the market for a car, but I might not have bought that particular car, but I test drove it. And then when I got back to the dealership, the salesperson, like he refused to give me the key. Like he refused to take the keys back. He was like, no, that's your car. And I literally bought the car.
You're like, okay, if you say
I
so.
know. It's like that is a great experience. Like I felt this sense of ownership because of that experience. So I just think that's one that's just how I am. I thrive on experiences. But um
What was the brand?
at that time it was a Hyundai.
Hyundai. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew what to do. He knew the sales psychology that was going to
He
get you to
did,
walk out of there
exactly.
that
I'm like,
day.
oh.
Really, it's so crazy how much it has to do with psychology, though. You're like tapping into people's consuming like habits
It's
and
like feel good
essentially,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. It's crazy how much psychology goes into marketing and merchandising and loyalty. And it's really just like tapping into that piece of their brain. And I say they, but all of us tapping
Yeah.
into that gets you to purchase a little bit more. Like, yeah, you kind of need that. Like, give you the little nudge that you need.
You even think about it. Like, I mean, groceries are so expensive nowadays, and I use Meyer for example, but I I feel like I used to get this more often, but there would be like randomly it would be like, do you want to take $10 off your cart? And I'm like, absolutely. Who cares that I've probably spent thousands of dollars on groceries before I get that pop up? But I get that pop up and I'm like, this is amazing. I'm literally saving money."
Yep. And I will be
Literally.
back.
Loyalty programs, it's literally just like that little incentive. And like even you go back to the Sephora example, like yes, those the products are like samples. They're not going to change your life. They're not going to last you like a month. They're literally going to it's like two
Just a little
uses and
taste.
done. But it makes you feel good and it's something that you're looking forward to and you expect, and the brand is consistently delivering on their promise, and that is what really builds like customer lifetime value, I think.
I think that brings up an important distinction in my next point, that we need to remember that there's a difference between loyalty and reward programs. So we've kind of talked about the ones that are our favorites, but reward programs are great. They kind of pat you on the back with purchases that you've made with discounts and samples, and it's straightforward. Like you buy and you get. But a loyalty program feels like it goes beyond that. It's getting personal. It's not just thinking about the transactions, it's thinking about building that relationship. So thinking about the brand saying, hey, we see you and we appreciate you and we want to make you feel special. And one example of a brand that does that really well, and obviously within my research for this episode, I saw Kith. They're a fashion brand and they're kind of climbing up the loyalty ladder with unlocking exclusive perks that really aren't just about spending more money. Like Elf, it's a part of feeling like a community that basically a community where you can have your loyalty turn into a status symbol. So the more you earn, the more senior you feel in that community. Um,
I think one thing that I find that gets really complex is when brands like have a rewards program and they're trying to have a loyalty program, but those are not the same thing. There has to be this way of like somehow tying it together, because if I'm in your rewards program, but you have this loyalty program that's completely different and separate, that adds friction because you don't know which is which. So I think anyway, and I think brands are getting better about that, because one, you have for brands that have like a CDP, like you have your customer data, you have your transactional data, you're able to tie those together where like this person is like a gold member, and because they're a gold member, they get X% off their purchase or something. I don't know what that looks like, the incentive, but I just feel like there needs to be some way of like tying it together where you're incentivizing your most loyal customers.
I love that you said it needs to be really easy. And I think that the apps are making it so easy to where you could just log on and you see all of your data right there. But I
Yeah.
love the community aspects. Being a community manager myself, it's like, how do I get people to talk about it together? How do I get people to share it out in the
Yeah.
world? How do I get people to be advocates for me and have that all count towards your reward? So I think you bring up an amazing point about just not making it feel clunky and finding a way to take the data that you have and make it a seamless experience for the customer. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. And you've said it a few times, but being obsessed with the customer journey is really what's going to help you win.
I feel like Crumble does a really good job of that, because not only, you spend so much, you get $10 off, but they have this point system where they reward you for sharing and doing like other things as a part of I mean, it's more data for them, but I just think they bring it all together and they really provide a really good experience. And they keep you coming back. Like, what a great concept to have a menu that changes every single week.
And I love getting to chat with you about this stuff. And that's what these episodes are all about. We're talking bite sized, informational, but also really cool commentary and us just getting to chat and have a little fun. So we hope you guys enjoyed. And if you guys have a favorite loyalty program or you see a brand doing something really cool, write in, comment on the YouTube. That would be fun to have that discussion in the comments. But as always, thank you so much for listening to the Commerce Experience podcast. Roxy, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having
And
me.
if you guys are looking for more insights on e-commerce and AI, be sure to sign up for our newsletter. It's called The Edge, and you're going to get perspectives from everything happening in the industry from our brand team. So click the link in the bio of this episode to sign up or scan the QR code on the screen right now. Until next time, we'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.